Namaste. Greetings from Green Park Foundation and IPOMO Birla. I, Seema Walunjkar, on behalf of our teams, welcome you to the second session of the Expert Talk series, Vritti Margadarshi. Today, we have Sri Umesh Kumar GL, an expert from the design domain, to give a talk on careers in creative domain. Sri Umesh Kumar has done BA and Masters in Design from IIT Delhi. He is the founder, director of DQ Labs and founder CEO of Zamplay.com. He will give us deeper insights into careers in design, architecture and fashion. We welcome you, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. Hello, everyone. I hope you had a fantastic day today. So, let me deep dive into the creative careers. I hope most of you are in the 12th standard. So, right, they are in the 12th standard. And you would have taken science, arts, commerce as one of the subjects. So, the question next is after 12th what, right? So mostly the people who are attending this talk are creative, right? So you draw something, you create some crafts, or you have some fantastic ideas and you want to take them forward, right? So if you want to take them forward, what is the next plan? And what are these creative careers? And these are some of the questions that should be on top of your mind. So let me just start off this session explaining what creativity is, right? And what these creative careers are. So any profession, if you take, okay, the objective of any profession or any professional is to solve a problem or service the people, right? Only then they get paid. So in doing so, they use their best asset, which is their brain. Right? So I hope you all know that there are two sides of the brain, the left and the right, and each of them have certain capabilities, and in your professional career you will be demanded to use certain types of skills or certain types of skills that would use your left brain or right brain. For example, let us say a surgeon doing a surgery. Okay, he has to do it with a lot of precision, logic and analytical ability, and he will be using his left dominant side of the brain, right? So during surgery, he would not be thinking, okay, how else I can probably, creatively do this surgery, right? He's trained for doing that, and he would deep dive and do the surgery in the precise manner that he is supposed to do. Whereas there are certain professions where there is a lot of scope for thinking, right? So there are many possibilities. For example, if you take art, it has many possibilities, and there is less amount of logic and more amount of imagination that a person will have to exercise. So for that, he will be using his right brain capacities, So left brain capacities in the sense you got to be really good in your logical thinking, numerical ability, analytical ability, and etc. And for the right brain capacities, you'll be using your imaginations, visualization, empathy, emotions, and etc. Now, there is one category of profession where you have to use both your right brain and left brain to the maximum potential, and that is the creative field, because the problems that you're trying to solve, the solutions can be many, and if you have to really find out what the solutions are, you have to think creatively, right? So in this regards, I would like you to go through this talk that I have given. It's called Rekindling Creativity. I hope it is shared in the group. Please go through that to understand how the left brain and right brain interact with each other and how the creativity manifests. That is very much important to understand, because we, being creative professionals, we are also trained to use both the brain capacities in that way, right? So there are many creative careers, but today I'm going to talk about architecture, fashion, and design, very specific fields where one have to be super creative. You know, what I mean is you have to think very imaginatively, out of the box thinking. At the same time, you have to ensure that that imagination is made practical. It has to be possible in the real world. And these are the three professions that demand that, right? Architecture, fashion, and design. So let me just explain you what design is. Now I'm going to use the word design as a common term for both architecture, fashion as well, right? Till a certain point of my talk. Then we can go into each of these professions in detail. Now, can you see this little image here? This is the image of a fan, a table fan. It's an antique table fan. We used to have these fans. In fact, we also have a fan here, similar fan here, right? If you see this fan, okay, it is made up of metal, and also there is a safety grill trying to protect the blades. I mean, we interacting with the blades, okay? And also if you see the buttons, they are very mechanical and appears very tough in nature to operate, right? So some critical problems a user would face in solving or using this fan is, number one, the way he will interact with the switches, and then the way he would have to clean and maintain the fan. And it is very difficult and cumbersome, you see. If you had ever tried cleaning the cycle spokes, you know, it is so very intricate, it takes a lot of time. So similarly, it takes a lot of time to clean this grill, right? Now, as a designer, what we do is when such problem is assigned to us, we think in different ways, right? So we try to question certain things. Now, for example, here, the grill seems to be a problem, and the buttons, etc., seems to be a problem, like a mechanical buttons, and also the whole unit looks very bulky, right? So we can probably work on the aesthetics. That is at one level of working, right? So we can work on the aesthetics and make it look more lighter. Now here there is another fan where the blades are made up of metal, they are transparent, so it looks very lightweight, and also you have these controls which are electronically operated. So the use of the machine will be easier, and it looks more aesthetically pleasing. So that is one level of questioning and trying to solve a problem, but we go beyond. So we basically question the need of each and every component. Like, for example, what is the need of the grill? The grill is there to protect from the blades. So what if the blades are made up of a different material than plastic? That is, say, it is made up of rubber or cloth. So then there is no need of the grill, right? So we ask these creative questions and we redefine the product aesthetics and function, right? So here you can see that the fan is more refreshing, and it has no grill, and the blades are made up of rubber, so it becomes softer and user friendly, right? Now we can also push it to a next level where we question the basic existence of the fan blades itself. Now my question to you is, are the blades necessary to generate generate wind, right? There is a designer named as James Dyson, a Britisher. He has the same question, and he has come up with some fantastic solution. Now he has brought in the technological aspect into the fan design, and he eliminated the need of blades. So this is something called as a bladeless fan. Now he has used a technology in which the air is sucked inside this compressor, and the air is passed through the circumference of this casing, and the air is going through that, is rushing through that, and in the process what happens is it is driving more amount of air, more amount of surrounding air, and it is giving more air to you. For X amount of energy, if you're getting X amount of air with a regular fan, here you get 15X amount of air from a regular fan. Now he has introduced that kind of a technology into it, and he redefined the product, and the product is absolutely safe. You see, a kid can interact with a fan like this, absolutely safe. Now this is where the designers contribute to the product or the service, and essentially to the society. they use creativity, technology, and aesthetics. Now that is design. Now as designers, as creative professionals in the design field, what we do is we try to simplify the life of people, and we try to make their life beautiful and efficient through our solutions, right? So that is what a typical designer does. He asks fundamental questions like, okay, why certain thing exists and why it is required, and he'll try finding the answers. Now, if you see the possibility of designers in India especially, if you take the context of rural India and urban India, right? So India is famous for many things, and it is also famous for one thing. Many people say there are a lot of problems in India, right? Every inch there's a problem, right? But from a designer's perspective, it is a landmine of opportunities, because every problem we see, we try to solve it, and there's a great potential in solving those. So, and if you look into the future of Indian context, basically in the next 5-10 years, we are going to surpass the population of China, and we will be number one in India. Sorry, number one in the world in terms of population. Okay. Not only that, the per capita income, the spending capacity of each individual, Indian is also increasing greatly. So what happens is you have great amount of population who has great spending power, and they want to spend, and they want to basically acquire stuff and make their life simple. So to capture that particular momentum, there are these Fortune 500 companies who are coming to India to basically drive innovation and design a lot of products and services to make people's life easy in various sectors, whether you take education, retail, power, healthcare, agriculture, connectivity, digital or physical connectivity, or financial services. In all these domains, there is a need for designers to solve problems, and there is a great opportunity that is available for creative professionals, especially the designers, right? So now let us get into each of these disciplines, 3 disciplines. Let us start off with architecture. Now architecture is design of spaces, all right? So the spaces can be at a personal level, like at a room level, or at a workstation level, or it can be at a macro level, which is like a city level, right? So at a city level, how we got to design spaces such that people can live peacefully, right? So the scale of architecture is from 10 by 10 space to a city space, right? Okay, so you can also design cities. Now I have asked the organizers to send a PDF of this book, all right? So this book has got some very interesting information about the basics of various disciplines. If you go here, all right, so you can see architecture and various disciplines within architecture, like for example, building design, landscape, town planning, urban design, interior design, green architecture, and also there are some descriptions and images related to that. So I would want you to spend some time and go through the images, understand, because we are all visual learners, most of the creative people are visual learners, and you can go through that and you can understand and get deeper insights into what architecture is. Similarly, the next discipline is the design. Design is generally either product design or visual design, something like that. So similarly, you can find information about various design disciplines in this book. All right. So let me just help you explain what this means. In architecture, you're designing the spaces, right? So like for example, you're designing buildings, commercial spaces, hospitals, offices, and etc. Now what products or services we use within those buildings comes under the realm of design, like product design or industrial design, automotive design, furniture design, and etc. etc. All right. For example, if you look around you, there are some products that you are interacting. In fact, right from the morning, you wake up, you hold your toothbrush, till night you switch off the light, you know, the light module. So everything comes under the product design. Alright, so that is about design. It's about products and also services. Now the next category is fashion design. So all the clothing that you use, not only the clothing, the furnishings, wherever you use a cloth, now that has to be designed and manufactured by somebody, right? So all the design work is taken by the fashion designers. Okay. Now if you are wanting to come into this career, as I told you in the beginning, you have to be really good in your left brain and right brain thinking, right? And that is exactly what is also tested in these exams that you take up for studying further in architecture, fashion and design. So in this center spread of this booklet, there is a career map. Alright? So you can also go through this career map. The orange color represents the product design, the green one represents fashion, and the purple one represents architecture. So all the students, science students, are eligible to take up the exams related to architecture, fashion and design. Okay, because for architecture, mathematics, physics, chemistry is important at 12th level. All the other commerce and arts students, they are eligible for product or design and fashion. Okay, and there are some specific exams that you should be taking to getting into these careers, especially if it is architecture. You should be taking up NATA or JEE Architecture Paper 2. If it is for design, you should be taking NID or UC entrance exams. And if it is for fashion design, you will be taking NIFT exam. So these are the exams for getting into national institutes in India. Alright? And what they test is both your left brain and right brain capacities. Alright? And apart from that, yes, you have to be really good in your sketching skills, because sketching is one of the ways we communicate visually. Alright? Okay, so now I just want to show you the workspaces, and this is very exciting, guys, because as a designer, you will be working on the secret projects, you see, because they are secret, because any company who is working on future products, they don't want that information to be revealed to the competitors, right? So you will be given a separate studio space, and only, in fact, 3 kinds of people can enter. One is the CEO of the company, who can easily access the space. Other is the designers, and the other third category of people are the guys who maintain the space, you see. So no other people get access to that space. It's a very, very secretive area, and here you can actually see automotive design studio, and they are actually working on a clay model. All right. Okay, so that is about the career, what creative careers are, and how you get into these creative careers, what exams you write, and stuff like that. So if you have any questions, would you like to probably shoot them out? Okay, so key skills in each of these categories is, the number one skill is your imagination, your wacky imagination. Okay, you have to be really, really good in your imagination. Should be able to come up with crazy ideas. And the second skill is ensuring that these crazy ideas can be implemented. Alright, so it's a very hands-on field where you design something, you make a mock-up, you make a prototype, and you execute it, and you test it with the customers and get feedback, and you modify it and refine it further. Alright, so why I'm saying this as a key skill is because there are 2 kinds of people: those who imagine great stuff and they don't take any action on it. There are some people who take action on it, but the work that is produced out is not very good. So you got to have these 2 things in each of these, right? Okay. Alright, so yes, so see, one thing you have to understand, the definition of